I have never been attracted to literature. Only occasionally I happen to take the pen in my hand, said Samuel Langhorne Clemens, known to the whole world as Mark Twain. Samuel Clemens was born on November 30th, 1835 in Florida. When he was 4 years of age, his family moved to the town of Hannibal on the Mississippi River. The boy spent his childhood there, in the company of farmers and Negro children. Later, Mark Twain described this town in his book, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. After the death of his father, the 13-year-old Sam became a printer's apprentice, and then started to contribute articles and sketches for a newspaper owned by his elder brother Orion. There, Samuel published his first humorous articles about the city life. At the age of 17, according to the author's reminiscences, he found a $50 bill in the street and decided to spend the money on traveling. Sam was carried away by the voyage so much that he kept moving from one state to another for 4 years, earning his living by work at the printing houses. He described everything he had seen in his humoristic stories, which he sent to his brother to be published. In 1857, Sam, whose childhood dream was to know the river well, became the pupil of a steamboat pilot. Later, he stated that it was on the steamboat that he had heard the words Mark Twain, which became his pen name. River pilots used these words to indicate the minimum depth needed for the riverboats to pass. The memory of these years inspired Twain for the creation of one of his best books, Life on the Mississippi. When the Civil War broke out, the traffic along the Mississippi River was curtailed, and the 26-year-old Samuel Clemens headed for Nevada to join his brother Orion. There, having decided to become rich on the silver mines, he bought several plots of land, but they did not yield him any profit. After failing as a miner, Sam made up his mind to work at the concentrating mill. But soon he realized that he would not endure hard physical labor, and after much trouble, obtained a position of a reporter in a local paper. However, he did not stay there long, and in 1864 he moved to San Francisco, where he at first worked as a journalist and then tried his luck as a gold digger. At one of the gold mines, he wrote down a plot which became the basis of his first humoristic story, Jim Smiley and His Jumping Frog. In 1866, Twain was commissioned by the Sacramento Union to write letters about his travel experiences to be published in the newspaper. He left for Hawaii and then made a tour around the country delivering humoristic lectures, which enjoyed a great popularity with the public. After another voyage, this time to Palestine, Twain became famous as a writer. The New York newspaper, Alta California, designated him a traveling correspondent for a trip on a huge cruiser, Quaker City. He forwarded from the voyage more than 50 humoristic stories to the newspaper. This trip resulted in the Incidents Abroad, which enjoyed a great popularity with the readers. As the majority of Twain's works, it is permeated with subtle humor, which is revealed not only in the language, but also in the comic situations his heroes find themselves. At the age of 35, Samuel Clemens married Olivia Langdon, a girl from a rich and respected family. Twain was sincere in considering his Olivia to be pure perfection. He respected his wife so much that he gave all his manuscripts for her to judge. Once he told one of his friends, "After marriage, she edited everything I wrote. Moreover, she edited not only my works, but also me personally." Striving to ensure his wife and children a comfortable life, Twain worked in different journals, wrote numerous articles, and toured around the country lecturing. In 1876, the author's most famous novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, was published. An encounter with his childhood friend, who reminded Twain of the adventures of their early years, gave a push to the author for writing the book. The character of Tom, who the author called the embodiment of boyhood, was modeled on Samuel Clemens as a child. Having completed Tom Sawyer, Twain got down to writing a novel about Huckleberry Finn. The book, written in vernacular of the American countryside, became a real success of the writer. As time passed, the soft humor in Twain's works gave way to wrathful satire. The writer's ridicule of the ideals of American society was so caustic that some of his works were banned by censorship and were published only decades later. Misfortunes pursued the writer in the last years of his life. He outlived his 4 children, his elder brother, and his beloved wife. The publishing house founded by him went bankrupt. To pay the debts, the writer had to set out on a tour with lectures. But despite all the misfortunes, Twain retained his ability to crack jokes. When the New York Journal published his obituary by mistake, Twain said with irony, "The rumors about my death are exaggerated." Mark Twain passed away at the age of 74. In the foreword to The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, he remarked that he had written a book to remind grown-ups of what queer things they did in their childhood. But Mark Twain himself, deep in his heart, remained all his life a boy from the great Mississippi River.